A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Hi everybody. Everyone's going back to school. Some started last week, some this week, and I always loved going to school. So I have some books I'm going to read about school called Curious George's First Day of School. I still remember my first day of school. Do you? This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George was so excited he could barely eat his breakfast. "You have a big day ahead of you, George," said his friend, the man with the yellow hat. Wonder what that big day is going to be about. It was a big day for George. It was the first day of school, and he had been invited to be a special helper. George and his friend walked together to the schoolyard. Some of the children were nervous, but George could not wait for the fun to begin. In the classroom, George's friend introduced him to Mr. Apple. "Thank you for inviting George to school today," the man with the yellow hat said to the teacher. Then he waved goodbye. "Have a good day, George. I'll be back to pick you up after school." Look at that. George gets to go to school. The children were excited to have a monkey in class. "George is going to be our special helper," Mr. Apple told them. And what a helper he was. At story time, George held the book. At math time, the children could count on George. What fun to have a monkey in your classroom. And at recess, George made sure everyone had a ball and a well-balanced snack. After lunch, Mr. Apple got out paints and brushes. George saw red, yellow, and blue paint. 3 colors were not very many. George was curious. Could he help make more colors? First, George mixed red and blue to make, that's right, purple. Next, George mixed red and yellow to make, yes, orange. Then George mixed yellow and blue to make green. And finally, George mixed all of the colors to make a big mess. Oh dear. The children thought the mess was funny, but Mr. Apple did not. "Oh dear," he said. "We are going to need something to clean this up. Everyone please sit quietly while I look." George did not mean to make such a mess, and he certainly did not want to sit quietly. He wanted to help. It was his job. After all, George had an idea. In the hallway, George found a closet, and in the closet he found a bucket, and in the bucket he found just what he needed. Isn't that George? A mop! George was on his way back to the classroom when he heard somebody yell, "Stop! Stop! What are you doing with my mop?" The janitor ran after George. "Stop! Stop! No running in the halls!" The principal ran after the janitor. But George was going too fast to stop. He grabbed the doorway and swung inside. And splash! The bucket tipped, the mop dropped, and George slid across the floor. Now the mess was even bigger. Mr. Apple looked surprised. The principal frowned. The janitor just shook his head. And George, poor George, he felt terrible. Maybe he was not such a good helper after all. Aw, George. The children felt terrible too. They did not like to see George looking so sad. They thought he was a great helper. Now they wanted to help him. So the children all lent a hand and some feet. Oh, all of them working together. And before anyone knew it, the mess was gone. "That little monkey sure is helpful," the janitor said. "It looks like Mr. Apple has a whole class full of helpers," the principal added. And at the end of the day, when George's friend arrived to pick him up, Mr. Apple said, "Thank you for all of your help, George. We hope you will come help us again." The children cheered. Hooray! They hoped George would come again, too. George waved goodbye to his new friends. What a great day it had been. He could not wait to come back to school. Wouldn't that be fun to have Curious George come to your classroom? I would love it. This book is called Walk and See ABC. One time we took a walk at the Nature Center and we tried to find things at the Nature Center from A to Z. And it was fun. A is for ants. And B is for bee. This kind of looks like us at the Nature Center. C is for cow and D is for dragonfly. E is for eggs and F is for, that's right, fox. G is for grasshopper and H is for hedgehog. I is for ivy and J is for jacket. It's getting a little cool out, isn't it? K is for kite. L is for lamb. Oh, look how pretty that is to be flying a kite and all the sheep out in the meadow. M is for mole and N is for nest. O is for owl and P is for puddle. They're having fun splashing in the puddle. What's next? That's right, Q. Q is for quack and R is for rainbow. Look at that beautiful rainbow. S is for squirrel and T is for tadpoles. Look at the tadpoles in the bucket of water. What fun to collect them. U is for umbrella and V is for violets. The rain makes the beautiful flowers come. W is for web and X is in examine. Look at that, they're gonna examine the spider. What fun they've had. Y is for yacht and Z is for zigzag. They're running and zigzagging and just having so much fun. And can you sing the ABC song with me? A, B, C. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Maybe you were singing and I didn't hear you. So I love ABCs, thinking of all different things that start with those letters. This book is called Kindergarten, Here I Come. And some of you are just starting kindergarten, aren't you? Kindergarten, Here I Come. Kindergarten, here I come. I'm checking off the list of everything I need for school. Let's see, what have I missed? Backpack, check. Glue stick, check. A labeled cubby box, check. Extra pair of underwear, check. Extra pair of socks, check. Crayons, check. Scissors, check. Mom says I'm all set. But wait, there are tons of other stuff I'd better not forget. My cuddle bear, my magic wand, my superhero cape, 2 flashlights and a tool set in case I must escape. Huh? Mom says to put those things back where I took them from. She says I won't need that stuff. She promised school won't be too rough. I hope she's right, I really do. 'Cause kindergarten, here I come. Yeah, he's not gonna need all that stuff. My teacher did a magic trick the minute that I came. I don't know how, but presto poof, she somehow knew my name. Then bam, she figured out I'm nice and that I'm really smart. And just like that, she seemed to know how good I am at art. I think she used some magic spells to make the whole day fun. Of all the teachers in the world, I'm glad that she's my one. Yeah, teachers just have a way of knowing all those things, don't they? This is called crisscross applesauce. Crisscross applesauce, that's the way we sit. Not feet out sauerkraut, not cottage cheese on your knees, not bottoms up coffee cup, not blueberry jelly on your belly. But crisscross applesauce, that's the way we sit. That's how my kids used to sit on the rug when I taught first grade. One more poem I'll read. Once upon a story time. Once upon a story time. Goblins, bunnies, kings and queens, cats and hats and magic beans. Once upon a far away, which book will we read today? And hopefully your teacher has been reading lots of nice books and you're just going to have a great time at school. So I'm going to say good night for now, and I hope you're enjoying every day at school, and I love you and I miss you all. Bye.
Amen.